Yeah, actually, let's just take a topic because we're already kind of moving into that situation. But what can the Pac-12 do to fix this? Because, like you said, like this was hours before kickoff. Like, thank God Arizona hadn't like left the state yet. Like reports that I had read is that they hadn't left, so it's not like they flew all the way here and then they had to get back on the plane and fly all the way home. They were still in Arizona when this came down. I think that there needs to be like a set of requirements, like 24 hours prior to a game being canceled. That shouldn't fly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not realistic. It's not good for the players. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for everyone involved.
Yeah, luckily Arizona was they had all their things packed, but they had yet to leave. I think they were set to leave in the afternoon of today, so thank God they didn't leave yet. But I mean, in terms of like what can the Pac-12 do to fix this, it's like you figure. I think what I've been saying on social media is that the easy fix is that Arizona has a fully healthy roster and Washington has a fully healthy roster. So why not have these two teams play against each other this weekend instead? But while I would love to see that and I don't know if that would actually work. Not so much because Washington and Arizona aren't really prepared to play against each other. Like they're ready to go, right? It's just like my biggest concern is that the Pac-12 would have to find a replacement for that Week 3 game because Arizona and Washington are actually supposed to play each other in Week 3. So you figured if they play each other in Week 1, what are they going to do for Week 3? But I don't know. I'm just going to spitball here, Sammy. So let me know what you think about this. But would it be so good in a season that is just so weird and unusual, would it be so bad if Arizona and Washington just played each other twice? Like, why not just play each other on a Sunday or a Monday today, and then just go play each other again on Week 3? Get as many games in as possible. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. What do you think about that?
Honestly, in this year, anything can go. Honestly, there's nothing that would surprise me at this point. And if the Pac-12 wanted to do that to make sure, let's say that Washington was knocking on that door for a Pac-12 or for a college Arizona was, and they needed to have that resume booster, yeah, I could see them doing that. It might not be like people might be upset about it because like you don't really see that in college football that much where two teams that play each other back play multiple times, but it could happen.
Yeah, the way that I see it is just that the Pac-12 has to do what's best at mitigating the harm of this entire thing. Like, you have Utah and you have Cal who have positive tests, and then you have Arizona and Washington who have secondhandly been affected by this. So, now you have 4 teams not playing this weekend. So, you wish that you could see the Pac-12 at least attempt to make a better effort at this. Like I actually saw the report that Washington and Arizona were discussing the possibility of playing each other this weekend. And, I think the report said that, the two sides just like couldn't come to agreement, or the Pac-12, just like couldn't figure it out. Like, I don't know. Like, I just don't believe that. Like that report came out like not even an hour after this morning's cancellation. Like the timeline doesn't add up to me. Like there's no way you could have had a civil and reasonable discussion about having this game played on Sunday or on Monday, not even an hour after you decided to cancel the game. Like something just doesn't add up there. Like I just wish that the Pac-12 made a better effort in mitigating the harm of this entire thing. And I don't know, I don't see a huge deal with playing Washington twice, especially this year. Like, who cares? This year has been so weird. It's been so unusual. Like, sure, Arizona's probably going to lose both of those games, but, at least they're playing. Like, if you were to ask every single player in the locker rooms whether they want to play the same team twice or not play that game at all, I guarantee you they're all going to want to play. Like I think the common, problem was that we don't want them to play on Sunday or Monday because, you have a short week that following week on Saturday. But, why not just let them we see, short weeks happen in the NFL all the time. Like, it's not a big deal. And if that really is something that you're concerned about, leave it up to the players to decide. Give it a vote. Ask Arizona and Washington, are you guys okay with having a short week? I guarantee you they'll be fine with it. Like, let them make that decision. Don't have the Pac-12 make that decision for them. It's just really unfortunate.
But also with short weeks, the Pac-12 already plays short weeks as it is with Thursday and Friday games.
Yeah.
So that's not even like that good of an excuse, in my opinion. But again, when has the Pac-12 ever done anything logical? They haven't. The Pac-12 never does. It never seems like it. Like, I said it when the season was canceled the first time. It felt like a rash. Like me and actually Cole said that. My co-host for Ute Dash, he said it felt like a rash decision to just cancel it away. And then you hear the reports that took that with the Quidel, with the daily rapid testing, it took them that long to come to an agreement to play starting this weekend. That should say something too. Like, I'm not saying it's all of the Pac-12, like it goes back down to the chancellors and the presidents and stuff like that. But majority of this comes down to the lack of leadership of Larry Scott. Larry Scott is not a good commissioner. He never has been, he never will be. And it's showing. Like, this, if any time had proven to people why he shouldn't be the commissioner of the Pac-12, it's 2020.
100%. It's just like, and we're going back, like, it just blows my mind that there was no sort of backup plan. Like, you should have seen the cases rising in Utah. Like, I was seeing it weeks ago that, maybe this game could go play in Tucson. Like, shouldn't there be some sort of a backup plan? I didn't see any of that from the Pac-12. Like, there's just there's just no way that they found out about this morning and then just decided to just cancel it. Like, there had to have been a few signals, a few flares, the night before, or on, what day is it? Friday. So on Wednesday, maybe something might have happened. Like, there's just no way that all of, like, the Pac-12 is just now hearing about this for the first time. That, like, oh my gosh, we have positive tests. Like, what? Like, there's just no way. Like, I can't believe that there was no sort of backup plan. And, they were just doing, when we were talking about, when they first made the season about, are they really doing what's best for the Pac-12, or are they doing what's best for, themselves in terms of just making themselves look better, right? Like, I think as soon as the Big Ten decided to go back to playing, the Pac-12 wanted to play right away too. Like, they should have done what's best for the Pac-12, not follow whatever exactly the Big Ten is doing. Like the leadership is just a wreck up there, and it's a real shame to see these players, working their butts off and wanting to play football, and just having it getting squashed by poor decisions by Larry Scott and just mismanagement from the people above them. It's a real shame.
And like in the statement that the athletic department released, they said that it's been 24 hours. So they knew about this yesterday. And Utah Athletics does a really good job of like making sure that everyone is like transparent with situations and stuff like that. But if you know something is going on 24 hours in advance, I'm pretty sure something, especially something so severe as this and something so like impactful, I'm pretty sure you should have made the statement sooner rather than later. And in this instance, it was a little too late for me.
Yeah, if it really was 24 hours, Arizona should have found out about this last night. They should have, not had all. They
shouldn't have been packing up.
Exactly. Like, there's just no excuse here. Like, there was a mismanagement of communication going on here, and it's just ridiculous. Like, that should not have happened. If they really did know about this 24 hours ago, and they were finding out about this, yesterday afternoon, Arizona should have been the first team that they were talking to. Like, hey, we have a couple of tests. I don't know if we're going to be able to play. Maybe you want to talk to the Pac-12 about wanting to play with Washington. And maybe that's when the discussions happened last night. But I find that hard to believe because, at least from the reports that I said, is that the players were just now finding out about this morning, and the coaches as well. So somebody was talking about this whole situation and was not communicating to the rest of Arizona or to the rest of Utah. Something happened. It's a real shame to kind of see, just this, this situation just completely get mismanaged. It's ridiculous.
There's just a lack of communication on all parts in this situation, whether it be lack of communication from Utah or lack of communication from the Pac-12 or a lack of communication between Utah to the Pac-12 or the Pac-12. There's so many combinations. I think one of the things that this comes down to most is is communication. Like, they need to figure out a plan and they need to stick to it, because like what happened at Cal, vastly different situation than what happened here.
Sure.
Because California has a lot stricter rules on what's going on with COVID than we have here in Utah right now. And that one, when Cal and Washington got canceled, I was kind of a little bit like, is that like serious? Like, do we really need to cancel that for like, wasn't it one positive test?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
Like, that was like one thing I was like, like that's kind of sus, but like I get it, like contract tracing, blah blah blah. But with Utah and there being what people are assuming is now like a breakout, like you should probably be aware of that a little bit sooner.
Yeah, 100%. Like it just doesn't make sense to me why, something is going on within one team and somebody else isn't finding out about it sooner. Like, especially the Pac-12. Like I really find it hard to believe that the Pac-12 found out about this morning. They had to have known about it last night. And the fact that there was no sort of backup plan, no sort of at least I don't think there was any reasonable discussion about Arizona playing Washington. Cause I think the report said like the logistics of it just didn't work out. Like, what does that even mean? Like, Arizona could have easily played Washington on Sunday or Monday, and they just played again on Saturday. Like, I think they were so worried about week 3 and, that Arizona has to play Washington again on week 3. And I think that's why, but again, like, I don't care if two teams play each other in the same year, especially this year. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. I think this year is just so important to play as many games as possible and build up your resumes. Because I know Arizona's not going to compete for the Pac-12 South, but you look at Washington, they need as many games as possible to compete for the North. So they're getting screwed over here a ton by not being able to play. And I think there was a reasonable, like a solution to potentially have Arizona and Washington play each other this weekend and then maybe again play them in week 3. I just don't know. I just wish that conversation would have at least been discussed a little bit more. At least from what I heard, it didn't seem like it was, much of an option. It wasn't really discussed at all. And I wish it was a little bit more discussed.